Yeah, the boys round here drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip.
Guys, Monday, I'm sorry, you might not have gotten the memo, but they had to cancel Sunday. Shit happens. But what are we looking at today? We're looking at Jammer from 6 Point Brewery. What can I tell you about this? 4.2% alcohol by volume. It's brewed with sea salt and coriander. That just sounds like an awesome combination to me. Well, as of right now, I am on the hit and miss. I am about, I'd say about 90% hits when it comes to 6 Point. I mean, you know, not to sound like what the hell I do with the other one. Oh, there it is. I said if it was like really enjoyable, we'd get the other one. And if I really had something to say, which I don't, but it always turns into 30 minutes anyway. Me and Johnny actually reviewed Dorado from Ballast Point together. Like literally, we were holding each other, and we both gave that a 10. So I guess if first of all, as of this moment in time, I've only had one beer that was a sea salt beer, and that was one of the ones from Tardisius, and it wasn't terrible. It's, I don't know. Technically speaking, how much salt do we really need? Not that I'm intentionally cutting back, you know, since Christine had the whole thyroid thing, she just can't do it. And it's not that she doesn't want to. It's just you can like sprinkle salt in the other room on somebody else's plate, and hers just gets saltier. So, but I guess there's one way to find out. Start by putting it in the beaker. I still wish I could get 6 Point beers here, because I would. Oh, this is also. I don't know if it's a one-time thing, if they're ever going to do it again or not, but it's at a bare minimum. It's a very minimal run. So it's kind of got that atomic yellow going. Definitely decent carbonation, considering I didn't go crazy, and it still produced a heck of a lot of bubbles. In case you're wondering, 12 ounces is 350 milliliters. All the time I've had this glass, I just... Okay. Well, right off the bat, you can smell the coriander. Basically, it has a white ale smell to it. I don't know if that magical, my favorite ingredient, is in all white ales, but that's the smell. That's the smell that it has, which for me is also similar to a gym sock. So right off the bat, I don't like the way it smells. But we're not sniffing it, we're drinking it. I mean, it's not an oyster stout, so why am I fearing this? Nice. Cheers, guys. And it tastes just like it smells. And it's a fairly, if a lot of IPAs, for instance, are a roller coaster, this is a dead guy. From start to finish, it's pretty much the same thing. I guess compared to some other beers, it seems like it has a higher sodium level. I don't know how you could miss the coriander, but that's just me, because I really don't understand how that could be, sorry, one of the most expensive spices, because I'd pay you to take it. Okay, well, the bottom line is, if you ever say to yourself, you know what would be great? If somebody would make a beer that had sea salt and coriander in it. I have a recommendation for you. And if you're going to be in my neck of the woods and want the other one, it'll be in the refrigerator. I'm not psychic, but I guess I kind of knew how this was going to go before I even opened it. But it's not going to get a 0 because I'm finishing it. So how was your weekend? Yesterday was really nice. I started off by not going to bed until after 3:30 in the morning, so I slept in a little while, and then I got up, and my whole goal was to do as little as possible, and then I realized that was actually not all that much fun, and the sun was out, and it was very nice outside, so I moseyed outside and decided to clean all of the vehicles, and I actually washed and waxed my Toyota, and I shit you not, as typical as it would go, as I'm rolling up the hose and I'm looking north up at the hillside, I see the sky turning dark. I'm like, awesome. And about an hour and a half later, the whole atmosphere changes, and actually it's something I actually really like, that moments right before you get a big storm, and the air just smells clean and electrified, and then you're chased inside because of the torrential downpour. And then somewhere around 9ish, I guess, the winds picked up to a pace that started tossing garbage cans and shit all over the place. But surprisingly, evidently the waxing helped, because it still looked good. And it's supposed to do that again at any moment. Okay. Jammer from 6 Point Brewery. It pretty much has nothing that I really like in a beer, so don't be really surprised when I say I give this a 2. But I do thank you, New York Half-Ass Prepper, for sending it, because I know you know how much I love sea salt and coriander. But to wash that down, let's just double check that Dorado from Ballast Point, which is a double IPA. We'll just use this to, wash out the glass. Oh, and Ed, I know you were, concerned. Is that just me, or is that just? It just seems really bright. Me and Ed were talking, and he was just like kind of bummed out that the front sight broke off of the Ruger SR 1911. Well, so am I, because I really like that pistol. But like I said, I think it was Pete. I'm almost positive it was Pete, unless it was one of you, and then you can remind me. But I know more than one person told me that Ruger had a. Got that chill just went down my leg. Chris Matthews must be around. That there was some kind of a, I don't know, not really a recall, or there was some kind of a bulletin or whatever, that there was some problem with the front sight on some of the SR 1911s. Wow. That's some good shit. I know both me and Johnny gave this a 10, so that's a just big time, bam, when it comes to an IPA. But like I made the comment, Ruger's really good. I mean, they got great customer service. They're like, we'll send you out a set of sights if you want. It's gonna need a gunsmith to do it. Shit, all you really need is Chuck. He's got that shit down. If someone can get something smacked into a dovetail with some kind of a punch and a mallet, you just know that Chuck is your guy. And I was thinking about it though, and I'm just like going, I mean, they're sights. I mean, they're just a 3-dot white Novak style sight. It's like, if you're gonna look for a reason to do something when shit's broken, it's always a good time. And I just decided to forego the Ruger sights, and I'm putting a set of the Heine straight. It's got the tritium up front, and then the one tritium in back. And I tell you, after shooting my XDM, I really encourage people, if you get an opportunity to shoot instead of the 3 lines across, the up and down, it just seems to make it a lot easier to get on, get your sight acquisition figured out faster, regardless if it's at night or not. I mean, they just, by design, they just seem like they pick up light better, no matter what light situation you have them in. But I have to say, the vials they use are not as big as like the Meeper lights through like they have on my Kimber, or the ones that are on the G20, on the G23. It's a smaller vial, and you're like, oh, it's not gonna be quite as bright, but they're impressively bright. So be putting a set of those on from Heine Specialties. I know, haha, it's Heine. I'm really digging those sites. So, and what was this stuff? I believe it was 10% by volume. 10% by volume. So if you really, if you're a IPA fan, and most of the IPAs that you have, you say to yourself, man, this just isn't bold and strong enough, definitely look for the Dorado. What else do I have for you? Not really all that much. Again, didn't really listen to any of the talking heads. It's like, again, I laugh when I listen to these half-breed liberal media types, and even the even more waste of oxygen libtards that go on and on about how narrow-minded Fox News is. And I'm just like, really? I don't think Fox goes far enough, to be totally honest. You know, they've got some pretty left-leaning people that work for them, but in comparison, the rest of the media is just a joke. But there's a lot of stupid people out there that watch it and then believe the bullshit that they perpetuate. So I guess the moral of the story is I don't really watch any of the talking head shows, because you just want to sit there and you'd be like downstairs snapping the vodka bottle open by 7 o'clock in the morning. Unless you're at Hazman's house, then that's called breakfast. So I don't know. The only thing I've even heard the rumblings on is how it seems like Hillary is just slipping farther and farther into a hole. But there's libtard morons that if the devil rose from the ground and torched an entire city and punched a nun in the gut and lit a baby on fire, if he declared himself a Democrat, he'd get a decent amount of votes. Just because. Right? Are you gonna come and see me? Or not? What the hell are you doing? Oh, let me guess. You want something. Oh, a whole bunch of people were asking me. They thought that, hey, how's it going? Come hang out with me. A whole bunch of people were asking me what happened, because they thought that Chuck was going to be up here for the wedding and and give the bride away. But evidently there was some kind of last-minute snafu at the old folks' home, and I guess, I don't know, they couldn't get a day pass or something. I don't know. I mean, I personally am very let down and discouraged that he wasn't able to be here. What in the hell are you doing? Here, come here. Want to say hi? Want to say hi? Here, come here. Wah! Isn't this your favorite part? Yeah. Oh man, get a Tic Tac. Oh, my baby. Huh? Ooh. Hey, how about your favorite part? There. Are you my baby? Huh? Are you my big baby? Yeah, this is great. Put me down. I want to be down. Say hi to everybody. Okay. Here. There you go. It's like you have to put me through that shit. How we go upstairs and talk about some Gouda, huh? Do you like the Gouda? You know, you are actually on my shit list right now. Unlike the Jack Russell I had before this one, Daxie. Well, I had them both at the same time, but Daxie's no longer with us. Well, actually, she's out in the garage in a plastic container in the window. That dog was always thinking. That dog is probably, the ashes are probably still twitching out there. What the hell am I thinking? I need one of these. And you did not dare leave that animal alone with any food. She absolutely knew she was going to get a spanking on her butt for taking the food. But she didn't give a shit. This one here, you can leave a pork chop on top of the garbage and forget about that you did that and come home 8 hours later and there it is. Not once in the entire time that we've had her has she ever knocked a garbage can over. You're sitting and watching TV and eating some pizza or whatever and realize that you need another beer and you go and leave the room. She will never touch it. Today, I got home a little while ago and decided to cut up a few slices of the 3-year-old aged Gouda. The last of the batch that Jeremy, Pre-Dawn Death, really screwed up and left here. And put a bunch of pieces of cheese and some crackers on a plate and brought them in for Christine, and she's sitting there looking at me and looking at that plate and looking at me, and it's like, okay, fine. So I gave her she jumps onto the ottoman where the plate is sitting, and she takes her piece of cheese that I give her, and she like looks at me and she turns to go back to the couch and grabs another chunk of cheese off the plate on her way. Evidently, she really likes the aged Gouda, because this is a operation not normal for you, is it? That you don't even look comfortable right now. Okay, so this turned into a, well, Chuck would tell you, less than entertaining brew review from the beginning, and then has slowly slid downhill. But see, that's the beautiful part about this. At any point, you guys can just and go somewhere else. I know what it's like. I was working. I sat in video chat with a couple of the guys at like 3:30 in the morning. And all I did for like 3 hours was look at what stuff in my inbox I am just not going to get the opportunity to catch up on, just because when it went over 500 and something unread messages, I'm sorry. And I know a few guys, I wouldn't say get ass hurt, but I know disappointed when I, can't keep up on the videos. And I still got a bunch that I'm like, absolutely. There is a small group of stuff that I eventually try to catch everything. Massively behind on Paul, PA Brew News' brew reviews. And yeah, I got a freaking, Paul, it'd just be so much easier if you just come here for the shoot, because, get here like with the early batch of guys and we'll just sit and drink. You can just drink your way through the box of shit. I'll even add more stuff to it. Set the camera up. You can do your PA Brew News uploads right here from Duluth, Minnesota. Hazman, Paul, you got I think it's 2 videos I'm behind on. Steve, it'd be so much better if you could just dump that Jesse dude. I mean, or get somebody that's actually worth seeing full frontal nudity. Because Jesse ain't it. William, Glockgeist. I don't know what happens, I mean, this does not seem to be 24 hours in a day. Oh, at least you look more comfortable now. It's like she was like, look at a corkscrew on there. So yeah, this is just, now it's just, I might as well finish this and to shoot the shit. That's the fun part. It'd be a lot more entertaining if we weren't all like, placed all throughout the country, and it's actually possible to just, get together and hang out and drink a few beers and shoot stuff. Yeah. God, this is good stuff. This is not something you're gonna, not the 10%, but boy, it's, I'm thinking this might be another one that would be, I've only got 2, it ain't gonna happen. Now that I've had this one, I'll be opening the other one right away. This is another one that really would probably be worth giving the old 1-year cellar treatment. And I've come to, I'd almost have to do 2 things side by side and just see if it's worth it. Just pick something I know that's good, that's in a lower alcohol percentage, and see what happens on an IPA for a year. Actually, I probably could. I go through Paul P.A. Brewing's box of stuff. Sorry, Paul. But back to the original idea, is the Dogfish 120 so damn good because of the high alcohol level, and that's, it's breaking everything down and it's turning it into all those just unbelievable flavors. I mean, I'm guessing that's a huge factor. So what if you took say something that had a 7% that I may have given a 9 or a 10 on the E scale, and cellar that for 1 year along with something, like the 120 that's sitting here aging. Be interesting to see how much of a difference there was, because all I can tell you, like I've already told you, is if you are willing to sit on a bottle of Dogfish 120 for over a year, what comes out of that bottle is absolutely so much better than the already outstanding beer that it was when it was fresh. And I'm thinking this right here, I might have to, I can go get a couple of the bigger bottles of the Dorado and see, that's the problem. You could wait a year and go, well, that was a failed attempt. Could have drank it when it was fresh. Or, wow, this is really good. I really wish I would have put 6 of these aside a year ago as opposed to 1. But, God, this would be another. I think I'm going to have to do that. I think I'm going to have to go get a few of the bombers. That's what they have of this. And I never did drink the Lagunitas Sucks. I pretty much spent the weekend working on other things that I had, and then my neighbor owes me a little bit of owes me a lot of money, and he's just like, I'm gonna run over to the liquor store. It sounded something like that. Yesterday, while I was washing the cars, he's like, I'm gonna run over to the liquor store. Do you want anything? Do you want one of your shit beers? 'Cause that's what he calls stuff like this, because he drinks Busch. I'm like, yeah, I'd like some of my shit beer. And he goes, What's that stuff in the green can that you really like? Bent paddle hop. I said, yeah, I'll take a 6-pack of that. So that's what I worked on while I was cleaning vehicles. And that really worked out well for me. That's some good damn beer. Okay, well, I suppose I rambled long enough. Are you gonna go see what Mom's doing? That's what you're gonna do? Yeah. I'll be right there. I'm gonna break into the Gouda. You want some? Of course you do. Okay, guys. Tomorrow. That's a good question. Got stuff in here from Johnny. I've got some stuff. That's tomorrow. Maybe I got some stuff that really could be good. Why don't we look at something from Johnny tomorrow? Let's look at the Imperial Texan. Made in Texas by Texas, damn it. This is a double red IPA. Martin House Brewing Company out of Fort Worth. Alcohol percentage 9%. Excellent. Excellent. Well, before it rains, which it looks like it could any moment, I am gonna go do some chops on the grill. Picked up some deluxe potato salad. Do up a batch of baked beans. Yeah, lucky her. You know, it's one of these. You're in bed and you look over at her and you go, like you're gonna spit on her. She pulls the sheets over her head. Awaiting is the fart that I let go about 30 seconds earlier. Okay, well, both of these are from New York Half-Ass Prepper. The Jammer, which was a fail, and then a immediate left hook for the recovery with the Dorado. So, thank you, my friend. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll look at that whatever the hell it was, the double red IPA. Okay, guys. Cheers. Have a good Monday if that's possible.